Welcome to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, the daily talk show with the voice of Penn State football and men's basketball. You never know what special guest may stop on by any given day. Now here's the man of the hour, Mr. Steve Jones.
To be with you today. Oh, you're back.
That's right.
All right. The schedule's out. I guess what the 49ers have the fourth easiest schedule.
I wish.
That's
they got a gauntlet there when those 4 games stretch with the Chiefs.
That's what I saw.
Yeah.
Like the 27th, 28th schedule.
27. I wish.
What do you mean you wish? What, you just want life easy?
For them, why not? Absolutely. Play every last place team you could possibly play, even though you were in the Super Bowl last year. Just get back there by playing every terrible team.
Oh. Yeah. You're unbelievable.
It worked for Notre Dame for many years. They beefed up their schedule.
You just are cruel.
Until they finally said, "Look, you're going to need to beat this schedule up a little bit if you're going to want to get anywhere." And then they did, to their credit.
Okay, so the number one strength of schedule, I believe, are the Cleveland Browns.
Browns, Steelers, Ravens. I think are 1, 2, 3. I don't remember
Ravens
the order,
are 2, and the Steelers are 3. Then it's tied for 4th, Green Bay and the Texans. Giants are 6th, tied with the Bills. Then the Patriots are tied for 8th with Jacksonville and the Raiders. 11 is Detroit, so now we're up to double digits with your team. The Jets are 12th. The Cowboys are tied for 12th. And then they're the 49ers.
I was going to say, they got to be close here.
Close to what? You're in the middle of the pack.
Play the same teams here.
Middle of the pack.
Play the same teams the Cowboys play. And the
middle of the
Jets.
pack. Okay?
I'm surprised the Jets have that difficult of a schedule.
We got to play the Patriots.
Yeah, well, they got to play the Patriots every year. Yeah. Tough one.
Right. Then there's
one there.
Then there's the Eagles. See what the Eagles are? 22.
Not surprising.
22. Like, okay.
A lot of times when you don't win your division, even finish in second place, you get the assistance of the schedule. And that's what happens there.
Carolina 29, Atlanta 31, Saints 31. So the beloved Saints of Kyle F.
The beloved South, period.
The beloved Saints of Kyle F.
I think
are tied for the easiest schedule.
How about that?
In the NFL.
I think Kirk Cousins ought to just rent a house in Philadelphia week 2 every year.
Yeah.
He's back there again for the 3rd year in a row.
Yeah. And then there is Thanksgiving. We already talked about Christmas. The Ravens and the Texans will be the other game, and the Steelers and the Chiefs the primary, and Netflix will have both of those. Then there is the Thanksgiving Day games. They did a good job with that. I thought they ended up with 3 really good games. Green Bay and Miami will be the nightcap on NBC.
Yeah, phenomenal.
Detroit and the Bears will be...
I think the Bears are going to be a lot better.
You know, really, the one that has a chance to be a dud is the Cowboys and the Giants, but that's a 4:30 game.
and the best part...
none of them are streamed.
No, that's
Thanksgiving Day games. Nobody is streamed, which is a good thing.
The other great part of that, they advertised that when they put the release out. Cowboys Giants Thanksgiving Day. There's one minor mishap there. They put Saquon Barkley on the Giants.
Oh, jeez.
I'm thinking, there's your sign. That game's going to be a dud right there.
Yeah, that's not good.
But that is a great point, though. None of the games on any streaming. And I looked at cost for what it's going to cost to watch every game, and you're talking them in the neighborhood of almost $850 to $900.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
They obviously feel they can get the...
I think they probably will by a lot of fans, but I think that it's the other fans that it's unfortunate for.
I know. So, I don't know. This is...
And especially Christmas Day games are good. I had 2 great games.
Oh, they're really good games. The question is, do you want to pay for it?
No, not me.
Excuse me.
We're fortunate enough that we get the, we're able to hear the Steelers. So that's good enough for me.
I'm not.
I can have it in the background and watch another thing on TV.
I'm not that. We'll see when the time comes.
I can't. I not at least as of right now. I don't have any intention to buy Netflix.
I don't have any desire really to watch the Texans and the Ravens. Chiefs and Steelers.
Intriguing.
You know what? That's one I'm going to have to think about, and it's going to be one of those game day decisions.
Well, those free trials for a day.
Perfect.
I did that to watch I remember the 49ers were the first game on Amazon.
I've never watched Netflix ever.
No, I never did either. I have no idea how it works. I mean, I good idea. I know how to use some of the streaming services, but I remember the 49ers were the first game on Amazon. It was the 49ers Cardinals. A day, I think it was December 26th or whatever it was. That's what I did. Free trial.
Yeah, I don't. No. I said Texans and Ravens, while it's a good game, that is not a game that would make me pay money.
No. And that's...
Now, Chiefs and Steelers.
Yeah, be a good one.
All right. Now, if the Chiefs were playing anybody else, probably not. No,
Yeah, probably not. I think there's intriguing matchups I think you could have with them. Week 2, Chiefs-Bengals. Chiefs-Ravens week 1, I think, is another good one. But, Chiefs-Eagles maybe. But, there's not many.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's either the Chiefs-Eagles or Chiefs-Steelers, that's the one that would make me sit back and say, okay, let's make a decision here. I'm not going to make the decision today, that's for damn sure. No. Not crazy.
And by the time we make the decision, the cost may have gone up even more to get the streaming service.
Oh, you're just so negative. Everything with you is bad.
I say this as I got the one streaming service I do have is increasing in price in July.
Look, how much do you pay to go see Metallica?
Yeah, but that's entertainment. That's entertainment.
It's the same songs over and over again.
Yeah, it is, but you're live there.
It's the same songs over and over again. What are you going to see if they make mistakes?
Yeah, what the heck? Why not? They get older. They probably will make a couple.
Oh, you're brutal. Brutal. Chair's got to go.
Oh.
No, Chair's got to go.
Well, their tour this year, they're on their second leg of their North American tour this year, and they're not coming anywhere near here. So this is sitting this one out for the year. Not making the trip to Foxborough. That's the closest one.
You're not going to go to Foxborough?
No.
Really?
Not from Metallica. I've seen Metallica enough that I don't need to.
Okay. It's great.
I would love to go to Foxborough to see.
Foxborough's
see the
easy.
city. Yeah.
Foxborough's easy to get to. It is from here. You take 80, 81, 84, Mass Pike, 495, and then off of 495, just get on Route 1. You're in the stadium. That's how easy it is. It's right off of 495. Now, if you wanted to go 80, GW Bridge 95, same story. Get off at Route 1 on 95, boom. Nice. I'm talking about the stadium is like 3 miles.
Nice.
Off the exit.
They're parking at the stadium.
Oh, there's a lot of parking.
Nice.
A lot of parking. Well, what they did was they took the old stadium.
I remember that.
They made it. Demolished it. And they
took a little while to do that with the Boston Garden. Which is, no. Right. They didn't take a little while to demolish the Garden. They took a little while to turn it into what they wanted to turn it into.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But when they demolished Sullivan Schaefer Stadium, it was originally Schaefer Stadium, then Sullivan Stadium. When they demolished, they used that for parking. So, yeah, it was... but it's easy. You didn't, and you'd enjoy it. It's a beautiful stadium. It really is. You'd enjoy it. Now, you and your ilk, probably destroy the place. I told you I flew over the upper deck at the link coming back from Jacksonville.
Yeah,
WrestleMania. So your seats were trashed.
Trashed, I'll tell you. It was the wind. I'll tell you, tried to hold on to everything. The wind just blew everything around.
EA Sports cover.
I saw that.
Quinn Ewers.
Yep.
Okay. Travis Hunter of Colorado.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And Donovan Edwards of Michigan on the cover.
You had the feeling that a Colorado player was going to be on there. You knew good chance Ewers was going to be on there. Edwards, I think maybe a little surprising, but I had the feeling there was going to be somebody from Colorado on there.
Trying to think of my level of caring.
Who's on the cover? I have no level of caring. The game itself, I wouldn't mind giving it a try sometime, but I got to get an upgrade in the gaming system if I'm going to try it.
Again, each player that opted in gets $600 on a copy of the game, which is valued at $70. You do have to upgrade your system, though.
That's I certainly do.
PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do have to upgrade. It will include all 134 teams and the name, image, and likeness of a large majority of the current players. So if you want to sit there and you want to play out the titanic battle between UMass and UConn, have at it.
All right.
Have at it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Even make it in the rain if you wanted to. You used to be able to pick the weather sometimes back in the day. I don't know.
You can pick the weather?
You used to be able to.
So can you pick a snowstorm?
I think you could for the NCAAs I played many years ago.
Really?
Yeah, you could. I mean, I think nowadays the technology is so good that the weather actually is almost identical to what it is outside.
Yeah.
So if it's raining on October 12th here, you play a game October 12th, there's rain actually on the Beaver Stadium. It's pretty neat how they've done it, but
wow.
It's been a little bit since I played one of those games. Probably
this is the
15 years.
We see Madden come out every year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the most popular sports game, I don't think, without question.
But this is the most anticipated.
Yeah, because it's not been out in, 11 years? 14 was the last one. Denard Robinson was on the cover.
Yeah. So, yeah, I haven't seen this kind of anticipation for something like this in a long time.
No, and it's a testament also to, I think, college sport, where college sports is now. I think where college sports has become. I think it's reached an extreme level, which is good and bad, but I think there's a lot of good in it. And this is one of the good parts.
All right.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. Hopefully somebody's got a demonstration and you give it a try for a few minutes.
Me?
No, not well. I might give it a shot somewhere. I don't have a PlayStation 5, so that's
You're a disaster.
Not ready to invest $595 it would be for that game and the system. But
you are a disaster.
Games have gotten so good nowadays. I'm not even sure I could.
Is there a Metallica game?
There was Guitar Hero Metallica.
What?
That was many years ago.
I was just making a joke.
No, there was Guitar Hero Metallica. Back when Guitar Hero was popular and Rock Band, those two were really popular for a while. That's many years ago by now too. You're talking 12, 13 years ago. But yeah, they made band Guitar Heroes, and Van Halen Aerosmith was the first one. Then they made Van Halen. Then they made Metallica. Then they made a Beatles rock band where they literally put the Beatles. They went all out. They put with Rock Band. They basically had 4 instruments with it. Like you had your drummer, your guitarists. With the Beatles rock band, it literally replicated everything the Beatles had. Like the Rickenbacker guitar that Lennon would play, McCartney's Hofner bass, the Beatles Ludwig drum. They had put everything into that box. It was pretty cool, actually. That was many years ago.
You gotta be kidding me.
No, that was they've been they literally
I was
have.
Just joking.
No, they had them. And when you're playing guitar, like it shows a video a video game image of Paul McCartney playing the Hofner. It's pretty good. It was pretty cool. But yeah, they did have a Metallica too. I don't remember what year it came. It was years ago.
So do you get out into fresh air at all?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have not played video games in too many years. Let's see, Guitar Hero.
You're going to play this college game, though.
I'm gonna try if I could play. 2009 was Metallica Guitar Hero. So it's been 15 years since almost since I played games. I may have to try. Yeah, I may have to give it a try. The NCAA.
Wow.
Still don't think it's going to be enough to entice me to spend $500 on a gaming system I'm going to use twice a year. But
oh, excuse me.
I'm not the expert gamer that a lot of these other people are, and that some of these people play in tournaments.
Are there gamers in the station?
It might be.
I don't know.
There might be. I'm not sure. But there are some people that play. You even look at where Wells Fargo Center is. They were going to put that e-gaming center in there. So there's no question that the popularity is extreme.
Right. Well, remember at one point, oh boy, I'd say 7 or 8 years ago, there was an attempt to put esports on TV.
And they failed.
Of course it failed. Nobody wants to watch somebody else play a game. They want to play the game themselves.
You want to play the game yourself, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We did a lot of talk about money yesterday. We talked about Calamoni.
Sad part is when you say that, 10 years ago, you could have been talking about Cal or Coach Calipari.
Right, exactly. So, so it's going to be, instead of 6 years, 60 million, 10 million a year, it's going to be 3 years, 30 million, 10 million a year. And this goes on top of the fact that once they settle this house case, and it sounds like they are making incremental progress, right? Getting there, because they don't want to go to court. When you have to have 22%. See, this is where we were talking about, like the coastal Carolinas of the world. All right. That's where the 22% comes in. Okay. I think it's the max is 22% of what your revenue stream happens to be, or 20 million, whichever one happens to be the lower number. Right. I mean,
yeah.
Like coastal Carolina, whatever, 22% of what their revenue is.
You're going to have.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a lower number than 20 million.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's where every athletic department now has to come through.
Sure.
They will have to come through with some number. That's why I've talked about jersey patches thinking, sacrilege. Oh, sacrilege what? Why don't you come up with a way to raise more money?
Exactly.
Without going to donors.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It's like, let's think 1984 Olympics here. Yeah. How did Peter Ueberroth take a massive economic loser and turn it into an economic winner? They got sponsorships. Right? They got sponsored. Hey, McDonald's, the official whatever of the Olympic game. He turned everything around. The Olympics were a massive financial loser. Right? Mitt Romney, 2002 Salt Lake City Olympics. I mean, again, I could care less about politics here. I'm just talking about what somebody accomplished. They were in deep trouble. He turned it around. And those are those are two of the last 3 Olympiads that were held in this country?
Yeah. With
Atlanta being the other one. Yeah. We haven't had an Olympics in this country since 22 years.
Yeah. The winner. What, Salt Lake City was what year?
2002.
2002. So yeah, that was a lot.
I mean, the closest has been Vancouver in 10.
Yeah.
Now you've got Paris coming up this summer, and then after that it's Italy.
Yep. Before
coming to Los Angeles in 28.
I think
they haven't said where 30 is yet.
No.
32 is in Brisbane, the Summer Olympics.
I think these cities understand.
It's a mess.
Exactly. And that's where I'm going with it. These cities understand that, if I'm going to bid in the Olympics, my city's a mess sometimes already. I'm going to make it even worse by, number one, having the Olympics there. Number two, in all likelihood, even the big cities having to build infrastructure you're going to use for 3 weeks and who knows what you're going to use it for otherwise.
Well, this is when Boston was in the running to be the U.S. representative to go to bid. Like Chicago was in 2016. I think they were going for 2016. They ended up finishing fourth, despite the appeal from the president. Mm-hmm. He went in there like, oh, he's got it done, right? And they finished fourth. I'm like, oh, he didn't get it done. And Chicago's lucky he didn't.
Absolutely.
Because Rio de Janeiro ended up getting it, and there was a financial mess. Oh. Also, what does Chicago and Boston have in common? Waterfront.
Yeah.
Well, guess what waterfront does? It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's incredible. It's scenic. And it cuts off roads, parking, and everything else because you can't park over there. It's in the water.
Yep.
Right? Whether it's the bay or whether it's Lake Michigan. It's like, okay. So you already have a problem.
Yep.
And it's like, and I remember Boston spent a few million, not like massive amounts, but they spent a few million trying to convince everybody they should get it. And my question was, okay, you built the velodrome, now what do you do with it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a glorified 3-week track meet.
Exactly. And
so then we had on the show the opposition. There was an opposition that did a campaign to stop Boston from bidding, and they won. They got them to stop. Okay? Boston had to pull out in its bid.
And they were smart.
Do you want to know how much money they spent to do it?
It's probably in the billions.
$30,000.
$30,000? Good.
No, I had the leader of it on the show.
Good.
He said, we spent just about $30,000.
Yeah, that's good.
He said it didn't take much to convince people we shouldn't have it.
Yeah. And that's good. Because it's just the big cities are trouble as is. And I'm not saying trouble in terms of crime. I'm saying trouble in navigating. Like you just said with Chicago and Boston. You're going to make it even worse by putting things into an area for a 3-week time span and make matters worse.
Well, you can't work downtown.
No. And then
you can't work downtown because you really have to shut down everything because you have all this traffic all over the place that are there for the games and for the okay. And I'll give
tourists.
you Los Angeles is going to be. They're going to have to spread it out
big time.
I can tell you right now, downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah,
this is going to sound strange to hear somebody say this. There's nothing to do. Like LA Live, yes.
Yeah.
LA Live, where Crypto.com arena is, where the Lakers and the Kings and the Clippers play, right? It's there. Restaurants, skating rink, the whole thing. It's really beautiful. LA Live is really well done.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it, though. Yeah.
That everything else is outside.
It's outside of the city in Inglewood and stuff. Yeah. And
well, not just in Inglewood. I'm talking like Beverly Hills, Inglewood, Brentwood, Westwood, all these other places. But downtown Los Angeles, that's the part that people, unless it's not like I've never stayed there, but I've stayed there. Yeah. There is nothing to do in downtown LA. Nothing.
The other part of it also is big cities alone, just in the world we live in right now, have heightened security.
Yep.
You're going to hurt it a lot more by adding something like this, where you really got to heighten security up, and you may not have enough. That's right. You're in a spot there in a big city, and again, it just still further goes back to that point that what are you going to do with the, swimming pool that you got to build for the Olympics? What are you going to do for the stadium you're going to put for the opening ceremonies?
I remember 1990 was 6 years after the Olympics.
Yeah.
So Penn State played at USC.
Yep.
I remember looking out the back of the press box, and I saw the Olympic pool, which is out.
Yeah.
Right. It was in disrepair.
Yeah. And that's, I guarantee you.
Now, my understanding is since they've refurbished it, it's beautiful.
That's
right? Okay.
good.
Right. But this is 6 years after the Olympics. The pool was in. I looked down and went, oh, my God, that was the Olympic pool?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it when I saw it.
And obviously, the United States, we are very fortunate in a lot of ways. You look at the other countries that aren't as fortunate that are holding the Olympics. What are they doing with this stuff? You literally go bankrupt bidding on the Olympics, and then you have basically abandoned areas because of what you had to build for 3 weeks.
Well, it's a story that people don't want you to tell.
No, and it's the truth.
Right. Rio de Janeiro, like that stuff's falling apart.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, look at all the other places that have it. Now, a place like Vancouver, look, they're using, where the Canucks play, they use that arena.
And you're able to do that in New York, too, but you're still not. Oh, you're still not factoring in everything else.
I'm thinking New York bidding for it. I'm like, whoa, man.
No. Oh, man. You have the facilities, but man, oh, man, I cannot imagine
the traffic.
An event, exactly.
The traffic.
An event of the magnitude in New York. The security is, absolutely. Yeah,
you have to shut the place down.
You'd have to shut everything down. And you'd have to basically hold events 30 minutes away from each other.
Oh.
Yeah, at least.
I mean, some things will actually be in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. In Barclays, yep.
Never thought the Olympics would go to New Jersey.
No, New Jersey, nope.
Never came up in my mind.
Everybody's going to love those turnpike fees. Yeah. I got the sneaky feeling
it's some group of athletes from Kazakhstan. Who's Vince Lombardi? the Lombardi rest area. It's like, okay. Who's Lombardi? The Italian Olympic team. Is he from Rome? No, it's not. Just go to the event. You'll be fine. Yeah. And knowing the Jersey Turnpike for 3 weeks, they jack up the
That's exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they would.
And suddenly out of nowhere, getting the Holland Tunnel, Lincoln Tunnel, the GW Bridge, you're going to be $80.
$80, $90, yep. Yeah.
Hey.
Imagine the volunteers they want for the Olympics that are going to have to pay those fees.
We're not gouging.
Yeah. No, never.
No, we won't.
Never.
We'd never gouge at all.
Yeah, never.
All right, so the Celtics are in.
Yep.
The Cavaliers were a shell of themselves and played their guts out last night.
I agree.
And
I was impressed with Mobley. I thought Mobley played well.
Oh, yeah. No. Mobley played well, and Morris played great.
They did, yeah.
And to their credit, the Celtics just have more talent.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, the Celtics, to me, are not a fun team to watch. I mean, I watch them play, and everything is drive and kick, drive and kick, drive and kick.
Dribble drive, yep.
Yeah. The number of threes that they take, it's almost like they take too many. Yeah. And they take, to their credit, a lot of dumb ones. I'll sit there and go, what are you doing?
Half of them fall, unfortunately.
All right. Well, it depends on the night. In order to win, they need Porzingis back.
I agree. Yeah,
in
100%.
Order to win it,
Al Horford can only go so far. Right. I think that's, he played great last night. You're not getting that every night from him, not at his age.
Now, the key is the Celtics are helped by winning when they are winning, because they've closed out now 2 and 5 games, which means they have
Sunday
rest in between.
At worst would be the
right.
Tuesday could be another possibility.
Right, and that's where they are. And then Dallas won at Oklahoma City last night, so they're going to go home with a chance to close out Oklahoma City. And they won last night by 12. They did a great job of switching up in the second half and going zone. So Derek Lively was around the bucket because they tried when they were man. Oklahoma City had Holmgren mostly down low, and then they started putting Holmgren outside, trying to get Lively to go with them. And Lively went with them a couple times. It opened up the middle, and Dallas switched and went zone. And when they did that, that kept the shot blocker there. And Derek did a great job last night. I thought Derek played really well. His mom would have been proud of how he played last night. And, so that's where that is. Then Colorado beat Dallas at Dallas last night when the Stars had a chance to close out. Like, yikes. That was quite the win last night for them. They won 5-3, and you need your stars to be your stars. And guess what? Last night, Cale McCarr and Nathan McKinnon in the third period when they needed goals. The two stars stepped up and each had goals. And I'm telling you, these were not empty netters. And that was big. So now you go to tonight. Well, tonight in the NBA, you've got Nuggets and T-Wolves in Minnesota. And now it's the Nuggets with a chance to close it out. And that will be at 8:30 tonight, and that's on ESPN. And then you have in the NHL the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight. Rangers and Hurricanes. Now, the Rangers were up 3-0 in this series. Carolina then staved off elimination at home and then went to Madison Square Garden and won. Well, that's at 7 o'clock tonight on TNT from Raleigh, with the Canes trying to force a seventh and deciding game while the Rangers trying to close it out. And Edmonton is at Vancouver, and that's a pivotal fifth game tonight at 10 o'clock. It's been a good series so far, tied at 2 games apiece. So that's the playoff story tonight. The Phillies continue to just go along at an incredible clip. They're 31-13 now. They're playing better than .700 ball. They've got the Mets again tonight. And the Phillies won last night. I think in the rain they won.
Yeah. Yep.
And the former Met, Taijuan Walker, will be on the mound against Jose Quintana. And that is the pitching matchup tonight at 6:40 at the Bank. But they're 31-13. They have the best record. Meanwhile, the Pirates and the Cubs play tonight. Paul Skeens goes tomorrow night. Tonight's the Jared Jones, who, by the way, is also a really terrific young pitching prospect. He's terrific. Justin Steele will go for the Cubs tonight. But Jared Jones has pitched really well. And you're talking about a guy with 56 strikeouts, 7 walks. That's an 8-to-1 strikeout-to-walk ratio, just in case. I know.
Addition's not the strength.
This is division.
8-to-1. Yeah.
Everybody, give me a moment.
I take the old pardon my dear Aunt Sally approach. Do parentheses, multiplication, then division, then addition, then subtraction.
Everybody, I need a moment. I need to take a breath.
Sad part is my math part was higher than my verbal part on the SAT.
I'm not surprised. Oh, God.
They tell you to critically read things. Unfortunately, I wasn't too critical reading it.
It wasn't a critical part of your life.
Penn State thankfully said we all have bad days and said, come on board.
Penn State looked at your bank account and said, go ahead.
That's what it might have been.
Come on in. We'll get you through. You'll be fine. And he can afford it. Bring him in. All right, good. Yeah, and the Yankees, of course, are playing as well as they play tonight. So right now in Major League Baseball, Yankees are half game up on Baltimore. Okay. Cleveland's playing great. They're a game and a half up in Kansas City. Minnesota's 2 back. Seattle is leading the West. They're a game and a half better than Texas right now.
Yeah, they underachieved last year in a big way.
They did.
I think you're starting to
did.
see what they're capable of. But yeah, Texas obviously is.
The Phillies have the best record in baseball, 31-13. They're 3 better right now than the Braves. Milwaukee leads the Cubs by a game and a half in the Central. The irony is that Craig Counsell is now the manager of the Cubs after managing the Brewers. So the Brewers are a game and a half up on the Cubs at this point. The Pirates are in third place. It's not saying much. They're 7.5 back. They're 19-25. They're 4-6 in their last 10 games. They've lost 2 in a row. And the Dodgers, I know you're shocked that they're in first place. They're 7.5 games up right now of both the Padres and the D-backs.
Yeah, just a shade under their payroll.
Let's see, where are the White Sox here? Oh, the White Sox are up to 14 wins now. The
That's,
White Sox are actually 6-4 in their last 10 games. Whoa!
you talk about a franchise that
They have turned it around.
just wasted
They still have the worst record in baseball, but
wasted their talent for so many years.
but you know what? they're not a destination place.
No. They're not even. They're forgotten. They're forgotten in Chicago completely.
They're not a destination place.
No, you got the Cubs.
Yeah, the Cubs. I mean, they were talking about building a new ballpark on the south side.
No.
Now I've actually been to the
Cellular Field or whatever it's called nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been there. I've taken in a game there, and
I flew over it. That was it.
And they still talk about that. They did mention that that's the closest they wanted you to get to it.
That's closest. That and
Yeah, I went to a Yankees White Sox game there. And I was like, it was sterile, but fine.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's on the south side.
Yeah.
Well, the south side is not the tourism side.
No. Nope.
All right. Well, they want to build it closer to downtown, and they're getting a lot of resistance for it.
Yeah, it should be.
I mean, Chicago can support two teams. We know
no
that.
question. Yeah.
We know that. But for the White Sox, it has been a constant. Even when they won in 2005, you felt like there were still more Cub fans there.
Yeah. Oh, there's no question.
In the 2005 White Sox were a legitimately outstanding team.
Yeah.
I mean, they won the World Series. They beat Houston. They swept them in 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
And they had petted
they lost what? They lost one game all playoffs.
Yeah.
The Angels game 1. That was it.
That was it. The only game they lost. Yeah, Paul Konerko.
Yeah, had Konerko, Petsednik.
Great player.
Joe Creedy at third base. Yeah.
I mean, they had some really
great pitching.
Oh, the pitching was outstanding. Yeah. Mark Burley.
Burley was there. Yeah.
I mean, Burley. Mm-hmm. Burley was the kind of guy you love to watch pitch.
Yeah.
You want to know why? Right? He got the ball. Like pitch clock.
Yeah.
This guy didn't need any pitch clock.
Maddox didn't need a pitch clock either.
Just give me the ball. Let's go. Let's play.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, it's like the modern guys today, Wade Miley's the closest in terms of what I can think of. A guy that says, like, give me the ball and pitch. But yeah, that's I couldn't begin to tell you what they should do there.
No, that's it's not necessarily a case of ownership either. I think Reinsdorf has always spent money.
And Reinsdorf is loyal.
Yeah, he's loyal and he's always spent money. So it's not a case where, we're not talking the Royals, the A's, or anything else here. I think it's a guy that is willing to spend money to go out there and try to win, but just it's not there.
I did not get a chance to talk to Jason Benetti. He loved doing the White Sox games, but he left it. He's now the Detroit Tigers TV voice. This is one of those, like, friend takes over for friend. Matt Shepard had been doing Detroit. Yeah. He's a friend. Jason Benetti's a friend. He took over. All right. I think at some point I'll ask him about it, because how do you, as an organization, look at a talent like that who represents you so well, and you look at him and go, yeah. He finally looked around and says, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
Right? How do you do that? That's somebody who, I'm talking like he represented them well. Now, look, if he said they weren't playing well, they weren't playing well. Guess what? It's not all roses out there every game. Okay? So you got to look out there once in a while and say, you know what? They're really struggling tonight.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, that is a light way of saying that they aren't playing well.
No.
Right? Well, that's what he did. He said, hey, they're struggling. Boom, X is struggling at the plate. Well, what, is X going to walk up to you and say, hey, how dare you say I'm struggling? Well, I don't know. You're 2 for your last 20.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll never forget, like guys getting mad about, you can't say it. I'm like, say what? Right? You've hit 4 of your last 20 free throws. Am I supposed to say you're on a roll?
You're on a roll, yeah. Well, I still remember when Tom Verducci went into Kevin Brown's town. I was excited to talk, see what it was like to know Kevin Brown, and he didn't get a good experience. He got quite a few people saying a lot of bad things, and Kevin Brown said, well, you say any bad thing about me, I'll never talk to you again. And sure enough, Kevin Brown never talked to him again. Tom Verducci told the truth. That was all he did.
I will see Tom in 2 weeks.
Nice.
I'll see Tom in 2 weeks.
One of the better Hall of Fame voters, without question.
It's just, first of all, Tom's just a really good guy.
Yeah.
He's a real pros pro.
Yep, knows the game.
Who not just knows the game, but loves the game.
Loves. Yep. Absolutely.
He knows, understands, but he loves the game.
Yep.
And so, I'll see him. I think 2 weeks from tomorrow, I'm going to see him. Right. And that's the other restraining order you had.
I had a good conversation with Tom Verducci last time I saw him. I don't know. Somebody arrested me the night later that night.
Right. Maybe you thought you did. All right. Are you back tomorrow?
I believe so. That's the rumor.
Oh. Really? I was hoping there's just a glimmer of hope somewhere. All right. We're back tomorrow as we continue here on Seven Mountains Media.